Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the terrifying case of Elizabeth Fritzl, the girl who lived in a dungeon of horror. On April 29, 1988, a 7-year-old girl named Elizabeth Fritzl was playing near her home in Amstetten, Austria when she vanished without a trace. Her distraught parents, Joseph and Rosemarie Fritzl, immediately reported her missing and a massive search effort was launched, but despite the best efforts of the police and the hundreds of volunteers, little Elise was nowhere to be found. Days turned into weeks and the Fritzl family's hopes of finding their daughter alive began to dwindle, but they never gave up hope entirely. What they didn't know was that Elise had actually been kidnapped by her own father, Joseph. He had lured her into a secret dungeon that he had constructed in the basement of their home, and there he kept her locked up for over 20 years. But how did he do it? You might be wondering. Well, the answer is chilling. The dungeon was actually a soundproof, airtight steel chamber that was accessed through a hatch in the basement floor. The hatch was disguised to look like a wardrobe, and Joseph had taken great pains to ensure that no one would ever find it. He had even gone so far as to install cameras and microphones in the basement in order to monitor anyone who entered it. But despite all of these precautions, Elise managed to escape in 2008 when she was 27 years old. She crawled through a ventilation shaft and made her way to a window where she climbed out and ran to safety. When the police finally discovered the dungeon, they were horrified at what they found. It was a dark, dank, windowless room that contained nothing but a bed, a toilet, and a sink. There was also a heavy steel door on the only exit, which was bolted from the outside. It is safe to say that Elise was incredibly lucky to escape when she did, because if she had waited any longer, she might have died. But how did she survive for so long? Well, that's another chilling part of this story. Despite the dungeon's horrific conditions, Elise had somehow managed to make a life for herself. She had given birth to 6 children, all of whom were fathered by her father. Yes, you heard that right. Joseph had been raping his own daughter for years in order to ensure that she would bear him children. And as if that wasn't bad enough, he had then locked her in a dungeon and left her to die. It's hard to imagine the kind of psychological torment that Elise endured during her captivity. But thankfully, she is now free and living her life on her own terms. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Until next time.